A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. And in today's channeling session, I'm basically going to talk about a divine feminine who changed her self-image completely, and she made herself into a new person. Basically, she's reborn. And in this channeling, what I saw is that a divine masculine is basically unghosting. He had ghosted her out. He had vanished without telling anything to her, and he was gone for not just 2 months or 3 months, but for a couple of months, for a long period of time, like 7-8 months. And it was that pain and that hurt was so intense that she decided to figure out how to change the situation, how to turn around the situation. The title of this channeling session is Divine Masculine Unghosts Her and Makes Contact. So let's get started. So basically, I was shown a couple who have been together many times and they've gone away many times. Like it's on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And each time they used to fight, the masculine would run away in a way that he would block her from everywhere. He would ghost her completely. Now, each time, the way he would run away would be so strange. Like, for example, just 2 days back, he would be talking about how much he loves her, how much he cares for her, and how he's smitten by her. And he would do literally everything, like messaging throughout the day, calling throughout the day, sending snaps, sending pictures, sending this, sending that, and she would be over the moon, literally. Her heart and she would be feeling so happy throughout the day. Like happiness, like the level of ecstasy, that type of happiness that he loves me so much. And he would also feel the same thing. So I'm being shown both the sides actually. And it would be just one thing that would trigger the sad situation between them, which means what I've been shown is that both of them had equal amount of love for one another. Both of them would be completely smitten by one another, but both of them have really solid traumas and solid blocks. And it would be just one word or one statement that would affect him so much, that she says to him. She says something to him, something that affects him deeply, and she doesn't realize that this could have a very deep effect on him. Maybe she says this in a joking way, she says it in a funny way, or she just wants to give him a feedback like, hey, you know what, you should not do this or do that, something like that. And each time he hears something like that, he completely feels that she is just not the right person for me. So from, like soaring on the moon, flying in the sky above the clouds, from that emotion to completely falling flat on the ground in a full high speed situation. That is the type of emotion he feels because of her. And because of the way he treats her after that, because they keep repeating it. They do it once, they do it twice, they do it thrice. So each time there is a miscommunication, there is a disagreement, or there is a thought where they both get very badly triggered. She gets triggered. She says him all of these things because she has a fear. She has been with false twins. She has been with karmics, or she's been in abusive, traumatic relationships. So she has so much fear that some action of his, some behavior of his, some body language, some word triggers that fear in her. And she immediately reacts to it and she says something. And after he hears that, he goes completely crazy in his head, completely losing control of his thoughts or his mind. And he feels that how can she say this to me? If she really loves me, if she really feels for me deeply, and anybody who loves another person, how can they say this? She insults me. This is how he feels. She insults me. She is not nice to me. Now here I can say that you can't completely blame the divine feminine, because what I've been shown, that you might think I'm biased towards the feminine, but I'm not. What I'm being shown that whatever she said, she didn't say it in a mean way, in a negative way, but he took it in a negative way, in a mean way, because he has, his own traumas. And obviously both of them have come to planet Earth to help each other out, to grow and become a better person. So they have to work out on all these triggers. Even she has to work on all her fears, and he has to also work on all his blocks. He cannot be so blocked about everything. So every time he feels that she has blocked me energetically, emotionally, or mentally, or love-wise, he thinks that she doesn't love me. She's like all the others, or she's like the typical one, or she's not real with me. And he thinks like that suddenly. And then he gives her that sudden reaction of blocking her or ghosting her, or just not talking to her, not replying to her messages. And she is so confused about this whole thing. So she goes and says sorry to him, because she feels that maybe she has hurt him so much, and now he will leave her forever. They will never come together. They will be breaking up. They will be separating. Things like that. So this is the kind of situation that I've been shown. The guy and the girl both are very attractive. So they both don't have dearth of people around them. Both of them get a lot of attention, and they are getting attention from good looking people, people who also have some kind of attraction thing going on between them. But it's like both of them, when each time when they get blocked by each other, one is getting blocked, feeling blocked energetically, mentally, emotionally. Other is obviously feeling the physical block because he's physically not interacting with her. So both of them go their own ways, in their own world. And each time they heal the wounds, because when they talk to other people or when they spend time alone, every time the Divine Feminine, she spends time alone. Say 3 months, 4 months, she spends in solitude, then she is in the hermit mode. Then she heals and she recovers, and immediately she attracts a karmic, or immediately, something happens, and then she realizes that no, it's only the Divine Masculine who I want, and he is the one I feel attracted to. For example, I've also been shown a party, a get together. So after the whole blocking thing happens, she goes away and she heals herself. She realizes that, okay, even if he's not meant to be with me, it's okay. I will still live my life. I will enjoy. I will be happy. I will be relaxed. And she cries all her pain out. And then she's in a beautiful zone. So she attracts other people, other men. Suddenly they start taking notice of her. And this is also happening to her DM, but the DM is still silent. So obviously she doesn't know what's happening at his end. Now from this point, I can now see it very clearly, what's happening between the two. And I've also been told that this type of situation has been playing out with many couples. So a lot of couples will resonate with this. A lot of Divine Feminines will resonate with this. And a lot of DMs will also, if anyone is listening, will resonate with it. So basically, what I've been shown is that there is a party, there's a get together, and there's a very good looking, very handsome guy. And I can see he's very handsome. He's tall. He's got some congeniality that a lot of people are attracted to him. So he is sort of arranging some kind of events or parties or something like that. And he meets the Divine Feminine and he goes completely like, okay, I want this lady's attention. I want her. And obviously the Divine Masculine is somewhere else because they blocked one another. He blocked her and they have not spoken for a long time now. And she's continuously thinking that, he did this to me and that is so bad, and why would he do this? Maybe I'm not beautiful enough. Maybe I'm not sexually attractive. Maybe I'm not so nice. Maybe, he cannot do certain things for me, or he cannot make efforts to be with me. I'm just not so good. And she has a poor self-image. It's despite having a lot of nice qualities, she still has a poor self-image. This is what I've been shown. And the same thing is mirrored by her DM. So what I've been told that they are extremely amazing. Both of them, since childhood, they are very, beautiful children, like how some children are born beautiful. So they are born beautiful. But they're never being told that. They never know that. On the other hand, there's a correction. I think the divine masculine also had self-image issues, is what I'm being shown. So it could be because of some health issue that he faced in childhood. It could be because of bullying. It could be because of something that his self-image got distorted. Though he also was born with gifts, because both of them have same DNA structure, so both of them attracted all the abuse and trauma in different ways. So then she goes out to some event, and there this very handsome karmic, he goes up to her, talks to her, and like tries to woo her and this and that. And he makes a lot of effort to get her attention. He starts introducing her to his friends. He starts taking her out. He is like picking her up, dropping her at late nights, early mornings, whenever. Because he's doing some sort of a work where he's organizing events. And because she has been in solitude for so long, being a hermit, and now she's like, yeah, I can go out, I can do my things, I can enjoy myself and things like that. In this channeling session, I'm only going to be focusing on one vision, because I did get few visions, and it would be better because both of them changed a lot throughout this on and off. Like when they met, they were different people altogether. And when when he initiated contact and when he unghosted her, finally, he's a completely different, changed man, and she's reborn. She's taken a rebirth, So both of them had those qualities of being in solitude, being hermits. Both of them were hermits by birth. They even have it in their charts, okay? But why do people party unnecessarily? Why do people have the need to go out so much and meet all sorts of people? Is because something in them is lacking. Something in them wants to tell them that you should go out. Somebody will meet you. You have to wear your best clothes. You will do this. You will dance all night. You will drink all night. You will this, that. So this is a sort of societal validation. Society validation is done. But both of them are in their core, they are both hermits. That's why they attract each other so much, because they both love solitude. They both love alone time a lot. Since childhood, they are born like that. Like there are some children, they constantly need mothering, and they're constantly crying and making noise and throwing things, and they're, always falling sick, this and that. They are not like that. They were never like that. They were very happy kids who could play alone for hours and hours and hours with their own imaginary friends, with their own toys, with their own thing. They would not bother the parents. They will have their food, and they will, either keep drawing or painting or listening to music, something like that. Very adorable kids. In fact, I saw a movie recently, and I would like to recommend it to all of you who are in this session. I only recommend it to people who take therapies from me. It's under a list of few movies that I give to people. So it's one of those movies. It's called A Boy Named Sailboat, or it's called A Boy Called Sailboat, not name. It's called A Boy Called Sailboat. If you watch this movie, first of all, this movie is a very good example of how healthy children are raised, how a child can even go out alone and get picked up by a stranger and get dropped to a place, without any fears. I see a very beautiful world in that movie, and I think it should be shown, or it should be watched by all of the people on Twinflame journey, because all of the people in Twinflame journey have broken childhoods, traumatic childhoods, things like that. So in this movie, they show some children. All the children are very gifted, very independent, and they are very well supported by their family members. Very well supported. So there's a little girl, she's always listening to music, always listening to her own music. There's a boy who keeps playing football. Even though he has some eye problem, he keeps playing football and he becomes really good at it. And Sailboat, of course, the actual protagonist of the story, has to write a song for his grandmother who is on her deathbed. And he writes a very beautiful song. The divine masculine and divine feminine were exactly like these children when they were young. But sadly, whatever it was meant to be, I won't even say sadly, because it's a part of the ascension journey. You chose that template. If you hadn't chosen that template, then you wouldn't be here to create a better world for the children that would be born for the next generation, for the new planet Earth. So you all would be basically, raising beautiful children. Even if you're not giving birth to children, but you will still, not being biological parents does not mean that you don't have divine masculine and feminine qualities in you. You will still be good hunters, you'll still be good providers, and you'll still be good nurturers, very good mothers. And this makes you an even exceptional mother, an exceptional father, because you're providing for those children who don't have anyone. You're providing for those who need you the most. So that's how gifted all of you are. That's why a lot of divine feminines who have beautiful nurturing qualities, but they still don't believe in giving birth to children. And some of you have already shared it with me in therapy sessions that, I don't think I want to make children, because I want to make a better world for the children who don't have any resources or things or love, basically. So from that type of childhood, being aloof, being alone, suddenly they faced a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, and they lost themselves, obviously, to find themselves later on. It was only both of them who could trigger the actual ascension. Before that, they were just meeting people, like more people, more relationships, more this, more that, more hurt. So that, they would finally be like, okay, now I'm done with this. I only want true love. And when they met each other, it was like sparks everywhere. It was like music everywhere. It was like they would keep smiling, talking to one another, looking at one another. They would be like, oh my God, I've finally found that amazingness that I was searching for the whole life, and it should be with me for the rest of my life. That's the feeling they get, because they see the same purity, the same innocence, the same life, the same everything in one another's eyes and one another's energy. The energy is very enchanting and enticing for them. But. So this happens, the runner-chaser dynamic. It happens a few times. And then in one of those phases, I've been shown where the long separation happens. I've been shown that she goes to some place, there she meets a guy who's like a rich dude with money, with girls. He also has a lot of girls. So I will continue this vision, and I will continue sharing the energy of this channeling session, and it can definitely help a lot of people. And I will continue it in part 2. I will see you soon. One love and peace out.